I'm not even where I want to be, and you're
Mm.
here frustrating me just because I'm a woman to work in a setting where it's uncomfortable for me.
My name is DJ Nyame. I welcome you guys live on SVTV Africa. And this program is called Daily Hustle Worldwide. All you need is in the internet. So if you just chance on our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, share, tell your friends to come join us. If you have a story to share, lifestyle and all that, businesses and all that, our platform is open to all. Um, across the whole world. So you can come and join us. We speak English, we speak PG, we speak our local dialects, some of the languages and all that. My name is DJ Nyami. Today I'm going straight to Russia to go have a chat with one beautiful woman there. How are you? I
I'm
welcome you live
fine,
on
thank you.
SVTV Africa. What's your name?
My name is Anne Bella.
Anne Mbella.
Anne Bella.
Anne Mbella. Okay, Anne
Yes.
Bella from where?
I'm from Kenya, but now I live in Russia in a region called Pam.
Oh, okay. So
Hmm.
which part of Kenya are you from?
Well, most of my life I've lived in Nairobi, but originally my family is from a place called Homa Bay. It's in the western side of Kenya.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
your local language, how do you call
But
it?
I'm Luo.
Luo.
Yes, Luo.
So how are you? How do you say it?
Idinade.
Idinade. Oh, then
Yes.
I'll start learning from you. Idinade.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Russia?
I've been here since the year 2017.
Oh, 2017, not too long
Yes,
ago.
not too
Okay.
long ago. Yeah.
So what were you doing back home? Let's talk about Kenya. What were you doing in Kenya?
Well, other than being born there and raised there, I was just living the ordinary life. I went to my university there. I did my master's there. I was working there also. Uh, my life there was just a typical ordinary kind of life any person could have.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah. I
Mm.
was working initially in some company where we were dealing with the solar panels, like selling solar panels.
Mm.
And I worked there for about 3 years before I decided to move to Russia.
Oh, okay. So how was life in Kenya? Talking about the culture, what we
Mhm.
need to know about Kenya.
Uh, Kenya is really a beautiful country. There's a lot to see, beautiful sceneries, beautiful uh, people, and the cultures are different because you have about 42 tribes. So Luo being one of them. Uh, Life there was just the ordinary kind of, African kind of lifestyle where your parents are either Christian or Muslim, and you have to be like a staunch Christian or staunch Muslim and follow the rules and all that. So my life was just that kind of typical life, African girl life. And the university life, I think it cuts across Africa. We have like similar experiences. You go to university, you study maybe for 4 or 3 years. After that you go look for a job. Of course, it's a hassle, as usual. I did some odd jobs until I got to where I wanted to the company I really wanted to work for. And it was a beautiful journey. I honestly can't say it was a bad life. It was a good life there. Hmm.
Let's say after school, talking about looking for job and all that, job opportunities and all that. Tell us about it. After school, how was it? Struggling to get work and all that. You know, it happens. So let's hear from
Yes.
Kenya.
Okay. Well, being that I did business and information systems, I expected like immediately after university to get a job, that assumption. But I would walk from one company to another, dropping my CV. I would go online, drop my CV everywhere, any kind of job I see, then I realize, oh, okay, I'm not getting the job I want. Maybe I should start with something different. So I started looking for sales jobs, and I got, luckily, sales jobs are really easy to find, but they're not paying, of course. It's really like you can only maybe afford some money to buy some lunch and a transport, but not really to sustain you in a serious kind of life. So I started with sales just to get some little experience, to be exposed to the working world. And then after that, I got a job with the bank. I worked in the customer service for some years. And then after that, I now decided, let me look for something that I like. So I went into now customer service. I focused on customer service and to inter how like to work with that in the setting of information systems,
Mm.
because that's what I learned in my university, and that is where I finished off before I came now to Russia.
We've been hearing all this about women harassment, trying to look for job, and the men want to take advantage of them and all
Yeah.
that. Did you
Hmm.
pass through anything
Oh yes,
like
I
that?
did. I
Oh,
did.
tell
And
us about it. Your
well,
experience.
there was one company where I had applied. I was qualified. I did my interview. It was perfect. Then I started working, and a few months into working, like 3 months,
Mm.
of course, the boss now started asking for favors, like sexual favors and all that. And for me, it was uncomfortable. Like, I'm not even where I want to be, and you're here frustrating me just because I'm a woman to work in a setting where it's uncomfortable for me. And I have to do what you want.
Mm.
It didn't go well with me. So he said I'm rude, but I'm not rude. I just told him off. You're my boss, and if you can't respect me as a woman, as a colleague, or even as my junior, as my senior, you should be handling me like with care, because who knows, maybe tomorrow I might be your senior. So he didn't like that, my tone, because I told him directly, and I had to resign immediately. And when the human resource asked me, I said, for personal reasons, because I didn't want to go into this. This is a man I knew. He had a family, and the kids were kind of my friends. So it was really uncomfortable for me. So I just decided to leave this kind of work environment. It was not going to work for me. Yes.
Some of these ladies are doing this. Is it because you didn't do it because you knew the family or what? Because you were looking for job.
I think I was at that point where I was telling myself I'm not so desperate to sleep with a man, uh, not just even because we knew each other as family friends, but sleep with a man because I'm desperate. Like, it can never be that serious. I will not die if I leave this job. So, and also my just moral standing, it could not allow me. My conscience could not allow me. I just imagine this person is like my dad. I looked at him as my father. So that picture was just disturbing to begin with, and I told myself I can't do this. Okay, there are people who are doing it. That is them, their decision. I don't know their background. I don't know why they decided to do that or why they would decide to do that. But from the way I was raised, my parents are like, it's not that serious. You don't have to do something to please somebody or to lower yourself. It doesn't matter. God will always provide. And honestly speaking, immediately after I left that job, I was jobless for a month. And I after that I got a good job, a really good job.
So why didn't you report him to when the authorities asked you? Why didn't you say it?
Okay, for my case, because this is a family friend, and
Okay.
I knew the kids and the
Okay.
wife.
Wife.
I
Okay.
imagined, of course, he will be, he'll be fired from the work. So I imagined, okay, what will these kids go through? Maybe I just allow this to, to let it pass for the sake of these kids and this wife, who really is a really good person. So I didn't want to imagine it that they would go through that because I have to report it. But it, of course, it was wrong. In another case, I would have done that, honestly. But I decided, no, let me just do it differently.
A lot of ladies are going through this. What do you have to tell them? And also to the men.
Let me start with the ladies. For the ladies, honestly, you don't have to, give these sexual favors for in return for a job. If something is meant to be yours, it will be yours no matter what.
Mm.
So take your respect, live, and the world is full of karma. Whatever energy you put out there, it is what will come back to you. You will get what you deserve. So
Mm.
if you go ahead and do what is wrong and it will kill you, it will kill your conscience, and you live with this guilt for a long time, remember, somebody somewhere will do the same thing to you. For the guys out there, if you're putting a woman through this, remember, you have a sister, you have a mother, you have a grandmother, you have an aunt. Before you decide to do something like this, think about what your sister would go through if somebody was doing the same to your sister. And if you really have to do it, then don't let it not be because in return as a favor. Let it be because you're two people who want to date or want to have an affair, which is wrong, or just something that has nothing to be given back as a return. Like it's not like blackmailing. It should be consented kind of agreement. Yes.
I see in the news from Kenya. I've not been there, but sometimes I see online. I don't know whether it's true or not. They
Mm-hmm.
say the women are not being married. I know they are not getting married, and then because of that, they go after the men. They want to chase men, and they are chasing the men here and there. I hear all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me how true is this? Because sometimes I see it. I say how
Well,
the women rather go propose to men. How true is it?
these are just few cases here and there, which can be anywhere. But honestly, the life in the city and the life in the other towns are quite different.
Okay,
Life in the city, people are a little bit aggressive. In the
okay,
towns, they're a bit laid back.
okay.
You would find, yes, people, there are ladies who would do that. They would go after the men, maybe because of the money and trying to escape poverty or that hard life, or just there's some who just want a soft life or just want to experiment something out there. So I can't generalize and say yes it happened. No, I'll be wrong to say that. It's just a few cases here and there.
Oh, okay. So how
Mhm.
many siblings do you have?
Okay,
And
I
your
have.
mom and your dad, are they still alive?
Oh, my parents are still alive. My dad just retired this year in February. My mom was a housewife and a businesswoman. I have two brothers and two sisters. I'm the eldest in that family. Yes, and my youngest sister is now in university. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Let's talk about Russia. So, what sent you to Russia? Is it school, work, or what?
Well, I came to Russia because I got married to a Russian. So that
Oh,
was, yes, that's why I
oh,
decided to move to Russia.
I see, I see. How did that happen?
We met online about over 10 years ago. Yeah, it should be. Was it 10
Through
years
what?
ago? Okay.
Facebook?
No, no, no. We met through some dating site. I can't remember the exact name. But we did not date from that time.
Okay,
We were
okay.
friends until up to about 2016. That's when we decided to now start dating.
Oh, I see. So, you also went on a dating site looking for a boyfriend, huh?
Yes, I wanted to experience different, fields apart from just, meeting people. My neighbor, maybe I should try something different.
But were you not dating in Kenya?
I dated, yes, of course. In my university, I dated. After university, when I was working, I dated.
Mm.
But I wanted something different.
Mm. The
Yes.
guys that you dated, how are they? I mean, their life and all that. You say you dated this guy in the university level, and you dated. How did
Hmm.
they treat you?
Well, they're all different personalities, so
Mm.
I can't say that they treated me badly or they treated me well. No,
Mm.
I had different experiences with the guys I dated.
Oh,
Different
okay.
experiences, yeah.
I see. So you were looking for a white man, right?
No, not specifically, because even on the dating site, I met both black and African and white. So it wasn't really specifically white person, because even the guy I got then now who is my husband, we did not
Mm,
start dating. It was like more like pen pals. I wanted to hear what his life is like in a different
mm.
part of the world. So we didn't start as dating. No.
Oh, I see. So
Mhm.
he came to Kenya, or you went to
Yes.
Russia straight? He came to Kenya to marry you.
Yes, he came to Kenya for the first time, and then, of course, later he came back for introduction. Then I introduced him to my family. Then we did our wedding in Kenya. Yes, so he came to Kenya several times before I decided to move to Russia.
Oh, okay. So
Mhm.
in Russia, tell us about Russia. You got to Russia, everything was okay. You got married, and then tell us about it. What happened?
Okay, so when I moved to Russia, I came with this mind. Before, I had this mindset of what I have seen from the TV movies. Like Russia is a cold country. Russians are always drinking alcohol.
Mm,
They're alcoholics. There's
mm.
a lot of mafia here and there. So I came a little bit scared because I didn't
What we
know what
see in
the
the
place.
movies, eh?
Yes, exactly. So when I came, it was totally different. Like different culture. From what I've seen in the TV and the movies and the films, is totally different. Like I was even wondering, what are these people telling us on TV? It's totally different. It's not the same thing.
Mm.
I expected like some kind of racism and all that. I have never experienced that in my life. And I was even shocked, like, so why is it that we are told different from what is really happening in Russia? And it was quite an experience. For me, it was quite a learning experience. I learned a lot, the different cultures, and interestingly, somehow the Russian culture, it kind of mirrors African culture in some way. We share a few things here and there, in some
What are some of the
beliefs.
things we share?
Well, when it comes to beliefs, like, there's, for example, people say that if you see a black cat crossing the road, maybe you should use another, another path. They have that kind of same thing. Um, there are those who believe in Christianity. They are strong, like staunch Christians, and that, and there are those who are not, who don't believe in God and Christianity and all that, which is their opinion, that's their life. But they're not so much different. Even when it comes to punishing children, they are okay with that. But if you do that, maybe in the West Europe, I'm sure the police will come for you. Yes.
They cane their kids.
Yes, the grandmothers, they would just tell you, our parents used to cane us, our parents used to punish us. And when you compare with what you went through as a kid, it's like it's almost similar. Yes, slightly lighter, but almost similar.
Oh, okay. How
Yeah,
many kids do you have now?
I have two kids.
Oh, nice. The firstborn is how old?
He's turning 3 next month. He's now in kindergarten. And then the younger one, who is a girl, she's just 1 month old.
Tell us about marriage, marrying a white man. Tell us about it. Their
Um,
life, attitude,
mm,
all that. We want to hear that.
uh, I cannot generalize because people are different and people have different cultures.
Mm.
Because somebody married to maybe a German, who is a white person, and me married to a Russian, we might say they're both white men and behave the same, but no, they have totally different kind of personalities. So
I said that because people say, oh, as for the whites, they are romantic, they are caring, they are blah blah blah. They say a lot of things on social media than blacks. That's what they say. So that's what I'm asking you.
honestly, Russians behave like a typical African men.
Mm. They
Uh,
behave, they behave, why do you say that?
honestly, because one, it's a patriarchal kind of setting. They believe the man is the head of the family. Yes.
Okay.
Um, when it comes to romance, the way I when I was dating an African man, it's not different from dating this. I mean, being married to this Russian man, it's totally the same. So
Really?
I can't say that African men are less romantic. No, they're literally the same.
If you said the same,
In terms of uh, how they perceive women, how they would treat women, it's the same, to be honest. Yeah. Because in Kenya or in Africa, the man is the head of the family, the woman is the neck of the family. um Most of the time, the man makes the decision, and might involve the woman, but sometimes might not. But of course, it depends with people. People are
mm,
different. Yeah. For my marriage, we tend to, do things together. We share, we are open about everything. Yeah. So it's not so far from our African setting. Yeah.
oh, okay. Are you working there, or maybe now you are
Mm,
home,
I-
not
I'm
working?
I'm at home, but I work through the internet. I teach English. I'm a tutor, which is something totally
Wow.
different from what I studied in the university. But it has been a great experience because when I came, I realized I cannot just sit at home and wait for my husband to provide everything. I was somebody who was working. I had my own money, my kind of independence. So I need that too. So when I came here, I had to find a solution, and I had to learn Russian, which is quite a difficult language, to be honest, but I had to learn
I
it.
was just about to ask you that. You need to study their language and all that.
Yes, yes, you need to study the language. For you to even survive here, you need to learn the language. At least know how to say a few things here and there, like going to the shop or asking for something. You need to learn the basic Russian for you to survive here. So I had to learn a little Russian to begin with. Um, and then, of course, I was also going through the process of getting my papers to live here and all that. And you can't get your papers without learning the language and going through some kind of exams. So that is
Really?
another. Yes, I had to do an exam to learn. Uh,
But you are married to a Russian, so automatically you need to
mm,
get a permit or a paper.
No, no, that is very different. Russia is a more of a reserved country, and they've just started opening up. So most of the things, like even the laws about foreigners and how to go about immigration, it keeps changing every day because initially there are not so many people coming in as immigrants or migrants. So now they're trying to open up and they are changing laws every day. So I
So
had
mean
to.
so meaning if you are not able to pass your exams, meaning you are not qualified to get the papers, right?
No, you have to do the exam. And the exam, I did it, and it is not just language exam. You have to do law. You have to learn the history of Russia
Mm,
and also the language itself. So be
mm.
able to express yourself. Write. You should be able to write the Russian language too. Yes. So it was quite an experience.
Wow, I see. Let's talk about the lifestyle there, talking about expenditure,
Mm-hmm.
the cost of living and all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cost of living is quite subsidized because if I compare with Kenya, like food is really affordable, like really affordable. And on top of that, every spring, most people here they have their outside garden. Uh,
Mm.
so they go and plant vegetables and all that. So food is really available and it's affordable. Maybe things like sugar, that might be a bit on the high end because it is imported. They don't have it here because of their weather and all that. But the cost of living is quite subsidized. For example, when a woman gives birth to the first child, she's given some amount of money to keep her going because she will be out of work for about 3 years. So within the 3 years, she's actually paid something by the government. If you have the second child,
Mm.
the government gives you quite a good amount of money that can help you to support your child maybe through university. Uh, if they have to pay for university, but university is also free for most citizens. What else? It's quite a subsidized kind of life. Let me just say that. Life is not expensive in
Talking
Russia.
about utilities and all that, rent and all that. What about those things?
Things like rent, it's still affordable. Compared, I'm still comparing to my life in Nairobi. Well, life in Nairobi is quite expensive, and even when it comes to rent, electricity bill was crazy. Here, I pay so little for gas that sometimes I feel like it feels like you're stealing from the gas company, but honestly, it's very affordable. When it comes to water, the same thing, because even for every town, there's a river next to it,
Mm.
so all this is quite affordable, to be
Wow.
honest.
Wow. What about job opportunities?
There are quite a number of jobs that are available. Even when Corona hit, not so many people were affected because you'd still get a job. If you want to get a job, you'd get a job. I honestly, any person can work anywhere, and you still get some good earning. And at the end of the day, even if you were working as a guard and you reach your retirement age, you will still get your pension, which will be some good amount to push you. So jobs are available. But now the problem is only to citizens and not to maybe foreigners. For foreigners, it's quite tricky.
Do you see more Africans there? Do you meet them in town and all that?
I am the only African living in my town.
What's the name of your town?
My town is called Lisva, but we are in a region called Palm. So my
Pam,
city, yes, my city is Palm, and then we are in a town outside the Palm city.
the only African.
Yes, I'm the only African in my
So when
town.
they see you, what do they say?
At the beginning, most of the time they would stand and stare at me, and or even ask for photos, or even try to talk to me and get to know where I'm from. They would just be shocked. Even up to now, still, I would meet a few grandmothers on the street, and they would look at you like, oh, and they would stare like in awe. So it's usual for me now.
I know most of we Africans we come there to study. Don't
hmm
they have university at where you are?
there are universities. There are local universities, and also the universities at the main cities. So so many for medical, maybe IT, all that. There are different universities. Yes.
Do you see opportunities there that you encourage those who want to visit there to come?
Yeah, for okay, it depends. If you want to come and study, I think like in the Palm region, it has one of the best universities for IT, and even here the region they produce engines for aeroplanes. There's a robot that it's produced in my region, and it's one of the most used robots for customer service around the world. Yeah, so there are great opportunities. The only challenge might be that you have to learn Russian maybe for about a year before you can start learning. For job opportunities, it would be tricky. I'll be honest. Getting a job, just coming from another country to come and get a job here, it will be quite a problem. Unless you get a job and you get invited by the company, then you can come and work.
Wow, nice talking. But have you been coming to Kenya ever
Yes, I
since you
was.
left?
Yes, I've come several times. I was there last year in March, so it's just about a year. I try as much as possible to go after every alternating year.
When you go, what did they say? Welcome home, hey, welcome home. What did they say?
Of course, they were very excited. My family, especially, they were very excited to see me, and I had missed the African food. You know, I had missed that so much. So for me, it was just everything to see my
Which one?
family.
Which food is your favorite?
My favorite is ugali, and we call it sukuma wiki from kales, which is
Mm.
just vegetables, and then we mix it. Either you can eat with meat, like what is grilled meat, or you can eat it with fish, but my favorite is fish.
Don't you have African shop at where you are?
No, unfortunately, we
Oh, so
don't.
that's why you're missing the
Yes.
local foods, eh?
Yeah, yes, a lot, a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see.
Hmm.
Anyway, Anne, your last message, then you can give shout out to family, friends, and your loved ones. Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you so
I
much.
enjoyed chatting with you.
Hmm.
So you can give shout out, your last message, whatever you have to say, you can just say it.
Okay. My last message would only say is that whatever you think you know about a country, I think
Mm.
it's best if you go there and experience it yourself, not just from what people tell you about a country and make assumptions or decisions. Because now, me coming to Russia, it has given me a different perspective about Russia. They are very nice people. I've never experienced racism myself. And there's no reason to experience racism because there are very few Africans here. So it doesn't make sense. And just be open-minded. If you're traveling, if you're meeting a new person, be open-minded to accepting their culture and understanding their culture, where they're coming from, why they make certain decisions, why this and that happens. Yes. And my shout out goes to my family. I miss you so much, the Mbela's family. My friend, I saw you did an interview with a friend of mine,
Bafo.
Bafo and Lovi. Yeah, they're my friends.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Lovey.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. And all the students learning in Russia because we are in the same WhatsApp group. So I try to make friends with them because now that I'm the only African in my town. But honestly, I love being in Russia. It's an amazing country. Anyone who wants to come to Russia, please do come. But don't forget to carry your warm jackets for the
Your
winter
warm
season.
jacket because it's too cold, eh?
Yes, too cold in some regions. Too
In
cold
some
in
regions.
yes.
Anyway, nice having you on the show, and
Thank you
straight
so
from
much.
Russia on
Thank
Daily
you.
Hustle Worldwide. I told you this program, we managed to do all. We speak English, we speak PG, then my
Yeah.
local languages and all that. So if you
Uh-huh.
want to come on the show, my numbers are on the screen. You can just WhatsApp me. I'll put you on. We have a nice chat. You tell us about lifestyle, where you are, stuff that we need to know, and all that. Charlie,
Mhm.
my name is DJ Nyami. So link up, subscribe to our channel, like, share, tell your friends about it, and let's make it big. Let's make it happen.
Mhm. Thank you
I'm
so much.
out.